Now then, should Sir Philip Green, the former owner of BHS, have his title, his Sir, taken away from him? A report by the Business and Work and Pensions Committee of MPs accuses him of extracting large sums of money from BHS and leaving it on life support with a pension fund deficit of £571 million. They've called him the unacceptable face of capitalism. So, should he still be a Sir? Well, let's speak to Mark Llewellyn-Slade of Awards Intelligence, who joins us now. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Now, you're kind of a professional honours watcher, and you help advise people when they're nominating people for these awards. Why is he a Sir?
Well, I think for the great work that he's done in the retail sector, but I think morally he needs to put his hand in his pocket if he's going to keep his knighthood. If he doesn't, he shouldn't be surprised if he gets stripped of his gong, to be quite honest. As you mentioned, press reports suggest that his family have taken out a massive £420-odd million in dividends, and there's a pension deficit of some £570-odd million. So if all that's true, then, I don't think he has any real option but to give the money back.
He may have to give the money back, but would he have to give his title back, as it were? Because a lot of people today are questioning whether somebody like him should remain, titled. How difficult would it be to take it away? What's the process for taking the Sir away?
Well, firstly, he hasn't actually broken the law, as far as I'm aware, so he can't be legally forced to either get his chequebook out or indeed give back his knighthood.
Do you have to give it back if you've broken the law?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you have to give your knighthood back if you break the law?
Yes. I mean, there are two situations in black and white when an honour can be revoked. It's called forfeiture. And the first reason someone can be stripped of their gong is if they're sent to prison for at least 3 months for a criminal offence. And secondly, if they're censored or struck off by a professional or regulatory body for something directly relevant to what their honour was for. So, given that Philip Green received his knighthood for services to retail and has had his knuckles rapped today by an official parliamentary inquiry for his conduct into the BHS saga, I think that's directly relevant to his honour. So, in theory, yes, he could lose it.
Who gets the ultimate decision on this?
There's something called an Honours Forfeiture Committee, quite a mouthful. So a group of people whose role it is to decide if this person should keep their gong or hand it back. And they'll make recommendations to the Prime Minister, who will ultimately then get it rubber stamped by Her Majesty.
If they don't decide that, can Theresa May independently go, I'm sorry, you can't keep this, it's not acceptable? Is it in her gift or not?
I don't think it is. I think she would be guided by the Honours Forfeiture Committee at the end of the day. That's what they're set up to do. And she would take advice, I think, from those people.
Do they take a strict legal view of whether or not to take a knighthood away, or is there a kind of moral dimension? Because, as you said at the beginning, he may not have broken the law, but morally, he should pay the money back. Perhaps he should give the gong back. Yeah,
the overriding question here, if you like, is has Green brought the honour system into disrepute? So yes, there are black and white reasons like going to prison or if he's fallen foul of a regulatory body. But at the end of the day, it's about bringing the system into disrepute, which is less black and white, of course.
And he couldn't appeal, presumably.
Not aware there's any appeal process for this. Once the committee have made their decision,
it's done.
Assuming the PM says, yes, I agree, which I think politically she'd go along with what they recommend, then that's it. You hand it back.
Thank you very much for joining us. That's Mark Llewellyn-Slade.